Hello, how are you guys all doing? It's the man, the myth, the legend, Quadmft here, and in today's video, I was here to talk about to you guys today, well, I still am here to talk about to you guys today this FP6 KEM Strike. Now, I don't necessarily get all my kills with the FP6 shotgun. I believe I get 19 or 20 because I was using hardline, so that makes the KEM Strike 24 kills with your gun, not 25 of course, but I could have gotten 22 with my FP6 shotgun, or I could have gotten 19. I don't know, somewhere in between there, but later on I pick up an ST2010, so of course the majority of the kills, I believe like 70 or probably like 85% of the kills were with this shotgun, which this shotgun, it's actually really good if you're using the attachments that I'm using. And speaking of the attachments that I'm using in this gameplay on the FP6 are the grip and the muzzle brake. Now, you'd really be surprised how big of a difference the muzzle brake can be, but I'd say try it out. I mean, of course, using a suppressor on a shotgun is really never ever suggested, but as you can see, like the first minute of this gameplay, I've already got like 10 kills, which is pretty freaking good, especially on COD Ghost, because something else that I'm here to talk about to you guys today is the fact that COD Ghost, you know, it's not a rushing game, and I'm sure this isn't the first time you guys have ever heard this, and you know, I'm definitely one of the people that enjoyed rushing around. You know, I did it smart, I did it smartly, I really don't know even if that's a word, but I did it intelligently, and I would, you know, have some pretty good map awareness. I don't have the most amazing gun skill in the game. That's not why I'm a really good player. It's because I was extremely aware. I knew what to do, and I don't know, I just performed, and you know, that's the way you got to do it in Call of Duty Ghosts. But the way you have to do it in COD, or excuse me, I mean that's the way you got to do it in like Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1 and all those previous Call of Duty games. But this game, Call of Duty Ghosts, you know, it completely, just overall completely switched it up. It really surprised me, really realizing that, you know, you gotta really play defensive. As you can see in this gameplay, you guys are probably like, wait, why the heck hasn't he gotten his specialist bonus? You know, and it still gives me those points on the screen that I got my specialist bonus, but for some reason there's always a glitch with shotguns. It's not always it's very inconsistent. I don't know what I really did to be able to get this glitch. It's definitely not a good glitch. It makes it so whenever I actually get on my specialist bonus that I don't actually get the perks, and even the little, you know, the little yellow star symbolizing that you have all your perks that you selected before the game started, you don't get those. And it's really, yeah, I feel like if I would have had that, because I would have unlocked Scavenger and I would have been able to use my FP6 shotgun a little bit more instead of having to pick up this SC2010 now. Don't get me wrong, the SC2010, it's a good gun. It's got kind of a weird camo on, you know, I guess it kind of matches the map, but I feel like we all know that camos, you know, they really don't make a difference. And I hope Infinity Ward and Activision realize that, you know, I don't really think most people, honestly, unless you're some sort of weird tryhard that doesn't play a lot of Call of Duty and thinks this is like a war simulator, is actually trying to, you know, like fit into the environment. I remember way back when me and my friends used to do that. If it was like a winter map, we'd have a separate class set out with our winter sniper rifles, and we'd camp up with the thermal sight and all that. But you know, also the thermal sights were never really good on winter maps because it was always white. But I don't know why I really remember that. I don't really ever use the thermal sight unless it's on the Lynx sniper rifle, which that thing goes off. If you guys didn't see my live comm, I'll link that on an annotation on the screen right now, or I probably already did a little bit before. But again, guys, you can see that I've got like 2 shells left in my FP6, and I'm getting a little bit scared. So again, I had to pick up this SC2010, and so far I think I have 3 kills with the SC2010. I fast forward this part just a little bit, just because I don't really want to bore you guys, because, you know, I said earlier in COD Ghost that you kind of, you know, you got to play more of a defensive role. You know, you don't really have to camp, but, you know, you're definitely not going to be someone that's constantly rushing around like you could, like J Nasty could back in Modern Warfare 3, or Green Goblin, or the Mark J. Those guys, you know, even myself, which I had a lot of kills in Black Ops 2. I think I even one point got like a solo 175 kill game in Ground War Dom, which that's a lot of freaking kills, especially for solo. But right there, I do pick up the KEM Strike, and you know, KEM Strikes, they're very similar to the Mob. In fact, they're just like it, and I actually do go on a 35 gun streak, which I believe is my longest gun streak in Call of Duty Ghosts. I had some odd 87 gun streak in way back when in Modern Warfare 3, but this is still good. This is a pretty good freaking gun streak, at least in my opinion. I enjoyed getting it. You know, I didn't really, you know, try and not play really aggressive, because, you know, once I get that KEM Strike, I really want to go out and I want to play aggressive and I want to rush around, which that's what I really miss about Modern Warfare 3. I really wish, you know, they would have added maybe one or two points of extra health. Well, not 1 or 2 extra points, but it would have taken 1 or 2 more extra bullets, because, you know, when you're going around that corner and you get shot and then you die and you're like, dang, man, I knew I made it around that corner. You know, that's what I miss. I miss being able to do that and, you know, make those little clutch movements instead of just being able to get shot out really easily. But you can see I'm tearing it up with this assault rifle. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Make sure to leave a like down below if you did already, or if you didn't already, make sure to subscribe if you're new. It's been Quadmft, and I'll see you guys in the next video.